Hey, YouTube. Hey, Bonafides and YouTube otherwise. It's me, Cemented, and I'm back. I'm back with another video. And if you're in here, you're good to go. Lord, now to put the stuff on pause. Can you pause? What's going on, everybody? Listen, I am here because I told you I would be here today so we could talk about women's health, what the fuck, and sex, okay? Because y'all, listen, when I be coming on talking about other stuff, it'll go somewhere else, and then I'll start talking, and we did that the other day, but now I want to have a dedicated, a dedicated time for us to come and talk, okay? So listen. So in our discussion, I want us to be free to chat, or I'm going to drop the link, come online, and us talk about, different things in our lives that we know, either through study or work experience. We felt, I just wanted to have an open discussion. Men are welcome, gay or straight, otherwise it don't matter. Because, you are our brothers and our uncles and our husbands and our grandfathers and stuff like that. And you may know something yourself, from going through certain things or watching certain people in your family or just in your life go through different things. Okay. Sorry. I had to get some water. I went to sleep after work today. And I can't go to sleep now, and my stomach hurts really bad because I made a stir fry for lunch, and it was so heavy and so much that I ate. I done got sick. Okay. So our first thing, okay, fibroids is definitely a big issue amongst women, not just women of color, but women in the world today. I just read an article yesterday saying that 40% of women have fibroids, experience fibroids at some time in their life. Of course, it is more prevalent in women of color for some unknown reason. They still haven't been able to put their finger on that. But it is a thing. What is a fibroid? Let me pull it up real quick. Hold on one second. I want to show you a picture of what they look on the inside, or what they can look like. Okay. So a fibroid is a uterine leiomyomas, or fibroids are benign growths of the myometrium, uterine smooth muscle. Fibroids are characterized by symptoms that include excessive menstrual bleeding, pelvic pain, frequent urination or constipation, infertility. Okay. So if you see what the fibroids are looking like here, this is what they look like on the inside of you, and this is how they go in, and they've got to like look at them and size them up and cut them from your uterus, which is down here, and take them outside of, take them out your body. Now, I have fibroids, and I have had the surgery called a myomectomy twice. God, dog, I keep doing the same thing. And a myomectomy is where they open your stomach up almost like a C-section scar. No, exactly like the C-section scar, and pull your uterus out, and they cut them out. They actually remove them. But there are several other techniques and treatments for fibroids that we should be aware of. The reason what made me want to come and talk about this is, honestly, I started having problems with my fibroids in 2010. My first surgery was 2011. Hey, girl. And the only thing that was presented to me was a myomectomy. Okay. Of all the options that you could have between medicines, less invasive procedures, the only thing that was ever presented to me the first time was to have a myomectomy, which is a huge surgery where they're actually cutting through your skin, your muscle, and going to your uterus, and then taking cutting the fibroids out, and then putting it back in the uterus. I mean, putting the uterus back in and sewing you back up. Is a 6 weeks recovery. And as Black women, even though I do know that there's more than just Black women on my channel right now, but as women, preferably speaking of women of color, we've got to be more knowledgeable about our options in our healthcare, okay? Because a lot of times we are marginalized and overlooked, even by hospital officials, and our best interests are not always at heart. I don't know if any of you feel the same way that I feel, but my bad feeling right now in regards to Western medicine, or medicine in the United States per se, because that's the only place I've ever experienced it. But where I just feel like the doctors nowadays have a herd mentality. They herd people in and out. Herd people in and out their offices. They prescribe procedures that are best in their best financial interest or time interest, and not the interest of the patient. In the recovery stage, how is the pain threshold? So what I found is that the level of pain is mostly due to the amount of exertion that you do. So if you are walking with that cut, even having to use the bathroom, or laughing or coughing, and making that area of your abdomen jiggle or be or move, that's where most of the pain is. The cut itself can sting. It does have a little pain the first week, maybe. Yeah, it does vary. But I felt like the most time that I had pain that was like unbearable was if I made the wrong move. or if I didn't hold my stomach up. Because now, if you go into it with a gut like I always have, and they cut you and sit you back up, one thing I've always told people who have either had a C-section or a myomectomy is you need to go get you some girdle panties. Those are the panties that go all the way up to your stomach. I'm gonna show you a picture of what girdle panties I'm talking about. Hold on one second. It's to hold your stomach still, and then also to use a pillow on your, like, up under your stomach, right there where that cut is, and kind of like hold your stomach up as you're moving around and walking, especially if you cough, if you cough. So if you hold it up and close to your stomach, it causes less jiggle. So hold on, let me show you the panties I'm talking about. Okay. I've always worn these after the surgery. Can y'all see them? Oh, here we go. I've always worn these after the surgery. Yeah. So I've always worn these right here over to the side. I've never worn any of these right here, this white one that's right here, or let me go over here. Let's go over here. Hold on. Damn, I didn't. Okay, here we go. Or these ones that you see like on Instagram. Hold on, let me cut this out. Like this one, or the ones that have like the crisscross in the middle of them, because I just never have. I was scared that they might be way too tight and not give me the proper healing that I need. Yes, no cursing. Girl, that's what I'm talking about, Tweety. I had my fibroids removed in 2011. They're back. They came back in 2015. And now here we are in 2020, they're back. Oh, 2015, I had them removed too, and then they're back in 2020. You see what I'm saying? I would be right now like scheduling my hysterectomy if I wasn't in the relationship that I was in right now, with some of the parameters that we have, or some of the goals that we have for childbirth in the future. I would definitely be getting a hysterectomy right now, because I wouldn't be dealing with this. When I tell you that these fibroids, because they are a succubus of blood, like you still have your regular blood going through your regular system and stuff like that, but your fibroids, they suck and they house a lot of blood, and they cause the blood to move in different ways that it usually does. So therefore, your periods can be heavier. Mine is very heavy. Every every um every month every month I have some sort of accident. I can't go any month without some kind of accident. The other day, because I'm cyclic right now, but the other day I took a shower. You know, you think in the shower, okay, I done washed it up, da 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 da. I walked from my shower, which is like 4 steps, to my um sink, and looked down, and it was just blood all down my legs and all on the floor, and footprints. Okay. It's dramatic. It's very dramatic. I haven't really shared that with my man though. I kind of want to, just so he can know like what really is really going on. It ain't just, oh, I just want to have a C-section, or not C-section. It's not that I just want to, have this hysterectomy and get my tummy tucked so I can be fine. No, like I'm really going through some shit that's like working my nerves. You know what I'm saying? I sleep with a red towel in my bed. I have white sheets, but I like white sheets because they make me feel more comfortable. But I sleep the first 5 days of a 7-day cycle with a red towel in the bed. I use a super tampon, as well as super pads. Sometimes, some months, I use 2 pads at a time, like going all the way from my navel all the way up my back. Yeah. So, you know, fibroids can be a very, very burdensome thing. Um, this time is different, more cramping now that you got your fibroids back. Yeah, see mine now, I mean, I've always been able to feel my fibroids. Like I can actually feel them. Like when I told them where they at, that's what the MRI came back as too. So hold on. I'm gonna talk about that in two. When they come back, they can come back more, they can come back bigger, smaller, whatever. They just come back how they want to come back. That's crazy. If you want to have more children, don't have that hysterectomy, you just gonna have to soldier on. You might want to try some different options, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Yeah. So to you going through the same thing I'm going through. Come on now, what's going on? Oh, okay. Um, okay. Have you heard about embolism? So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Yes, I have. Hold on one second. Okay, what age would you recommend someone start to getting theirs checked? Well, I would say that during my yearly what is it called? Pap smear. You know, if you're having if your blood flow during your cycle has changed a lot, or you're feeling something in your stomach, or you see that your stomach is pooching out more, you might ask them, could you have a sonogram? And that's where they basically put a plastic dildo up your dangling. I mean, it's a sonogram, but it looks like a dildo, and they put a condom on it, you know, for cleanliness. And they move it all around. They stick it in and move to the left. Ooh, you like, oh, I wish my man moved to the left, to the side, to the right. Okay, it ain't like that, but anyway. But yeah, it is like that, but it ain't like that. And they can go in there and kind of see what they see in there. Like they can move your uterus all the way around and kind of see things. The more conclusive type of visualization would definitely be an MRI. And this year is the first time I've ever had an MRI, and they were able to see every single thing. So I'm really glad about that. Okay, so let's talk about some of the treatments. Now, I'm not a doctor at all. I am a victim of I am a victim, okay, of fibroids, point blank and period. All right. So like I said, when I started having troubles with fibroids, all I was told, oh, you should have a myomectomy. Yours is so big, we'll need to cut them out. Well, a myomectomy is like one step, is the step right before a hysterectomy, which is where they go and they remove all of your reproductive system as a woman. Okay. Um, so I have no blood flow, but I will when I go for my annual. Yeah, you should. You should. Yeah, or cramping or sensitivity or bleeding heart. Yeah, or even you can even have issues having sex too, because they could be so big that the penis could be, bothering them when it's going up. So okay, but let's get to the myomectomy. So the myomectomy, they can do a clear one where they just cut up in your stomach, pull your uterus out, cut them, as many of them out as they can, because you want to preserve your uterus most of the time if you're doing that, and then put the uterus back in and stitch you back up. But there's also a myomectomy where they make 5 slits around your stomach, 1 in your belly button, like 4 around your belly button, and they put these little electric arms in. They send out waves of electricity that kind of like the um solder the fibroid off, and then they send out more waves of electricity that kind of blast it and makes it like into pieces, and then they go and suck the pieces out. Now, my first time I ever dealt with a treatment for my fibroids, I did that. But the lady let the electricity get away from her, and she ended up soldering and cutting off one of my fallopian tubes, as well as nicking me in my intestines, which caused what they call an ileus. And you can look it up yourself. And it made the flow of my bile reverse and come out my mouth. Hey, Miss Mays. So I've been through some stuff with these fibroids. Now, there's a thing called fibroid. Hold up, let me get the right word. Hold on, we're going to embolization now. We're gonna pull that up. Fibroid treatment. Oh, let me show you what it looks like when I said that. Is this it? About the electricity arm. No, I'm not going to show you that because I don't know for sure that's it. Okay. All right. Boop, boop, doo. Oh, come on now, move on. Why is this not going down? Hold on. Oh, I forgot my daughter taught me how to do that. Okay, before we go to the embolization, though, I do want you to look at this. Yeah, the side effects as far as the bile, they just had to wait for it to close on its own. No, I couldn't sue. I actually sent it to two lawyers. But one attorney had some hope, but I wasn't finna spend my money like that. But the other one was like, "Ma'am, you signed, the level of stuff that you signed, or paperwork you signed before, you're not gonna get anything. You're gonna spend more money than you get out of it." I was like, "Oh well, thank you. I'm done with that." All right, so like I said, the diagnosis usually comes from ultrasound or lab tests. Now when you go for imaging to go in and look, let's see, hold on. You can do an MRI, which I mean, out of all the times I've dealt with this is the first time I ever did a MRI. You could do sonography. You could do hysterosalpinography. I don't even know how to say that, but hysterosalpingography or whatever. But that's where you use the dye to highlight the uterine cavity and fallopian tubes, and your doctor may recommend it if infertility is a concern. So that's really cool. As far as treatment, I haven't had anything. The only kind of imaging I've ever had was MRI and then just a regular ultrasound. Oh, and I've had this hysteroscopy where they put the little lighted telescope into your cervix in your uterus, and your doctor injects a saline into your uterus, expanding the uterine cavity and allowing your doctor to examine the walls of your uterus. I've had that done too. Okay. Now you can get, like I said, we talked about the myomectomy, which is one step before the hysterectomy, where they open you up and cut everything, cut the fibroids out. Well, let's start at the lowest level. First, you can take different medications that will shrink the fibroid or just regulate your menstrual cycle. Okay, that can help you because most people are complaining about the excess blood during their menstrual cycle. These are some of the medications that you can take. I hope y'all can see this. Yeah. Okay. Then there's non-invasive procedures. Okay. Um, high energy ultrasound transducer for treatment. The image gives your doctor the precise location of the uterine fibroids. When the location of the fibroid is targeted, the ultrasound transducer focuses sound waves, sonications into the fibroid to heat and destroy small areas of fibroid tissues. Okay, the thing about this stuff is that they may not be able to get all of them or enough of them to make a difference. Okay, it just depends on your size and the location of your fibroids, and there are all different locations. So I might go into that, I may not, because I've got them in probably all the locations. Really, it's more than three. Minimally invasive procedures are the uterine artery embolization, which is what I wanted to do, and it's small particles are injected into the arteries supplying the uterus, cutting off the blood flow to the fibroids, causing them to shrink and die. This technique can be effective in shrinking fibroids and relieving the symptoms they cause. Complications may occur if the blood supply to your ovaries or other organs is compromised. However, research shows that complications are similar to surgical fibroid treatments, and the risk of transfusion is substantially reduced. Yeah, that's another thing. The risk of need of blood transfusion is substantially reduced with that procedure. You can do ablation, and in which radio frequency energy destroys uterine fibroids and shrinks the blood vessels that feed them. This can be done during a laparoscopic or transcervical procedure. So that's exactly what I started at with the first time I went through this. And then they had to go into a full-on myomectomy because this didn't work, or this started eating up everything. If you look at this right here, you see that intestine? Yeah. So while they up in here with these damn lasers and shit like that, that radio frequency, there's a level of control of control you have to keep of that type of electricity and energy, so that it focuses on the areas that you want to focus on and not on other fucking organs and stuff like that. Excuse me. I got an attitude. But they messed up one of my tubes. You know what I'm saying? So I have a right to have an attitude. Um, oh, wait a minute. I didn't have the ablation. I'm sorry. I had the girl, I ain't no doctor. I had the laparoscopic or robotic myomectomy. Yeah, that's what I had. And so that's the type of things you could go through. You can go look at the Mayo clinics in regard of fibroids to get more detailed information. But I have friends who have definitely um, used the the ablation, not the embolization, and have had great results. Cynthia Bailey and Quad Webb Lunsford from the Bravo family, two Bravo celebrities, they've bought for them, they say. Everybody's different, everyone's body is different, and it just didn't work for me. Okay, let's see. I have a question. Are you not having a hysterectomy because of your relationship or because you want a child regardless? Because of my relationship, honestly. Like, I was already in my mind that I may not ever get married, and I don't want to have another child out of wedlock. Now that those things are changing, um, I want to go for having me a family like I always wanted. The whole time I had Brooklyn as a single mother, I wanted to have a whole family. I wanted to have me, her, my husband, whatever other kids we had, you know what I'm saying, and have that whole family that lived in the house and stuff like that. It's always been a dream of mine. Now that it's on the horizon, I'm gonna go for it. And he's just my boyfriend for right now. More later on that. um, yeah. Hey Jennifer. I really don't want to. I really don't really. I want to talk about the health stuff more than the relationship stuff right now because everybody has their opinion. I don't feel like going through all that right now because what I'm going to do is me turning. I have 28 days until I turn 41. And what I've done is I've lived the life that I was told to live, that I was told was right by other people's standards. And I've been a good girl. I've been cautious. And I'm done with that. Okay, I'm done with it. I'm gonna live on the edge a little bit, do the things I want to do the things that really make me happy, and we're gonna see how that works out. All right, all right, all right. So back to this stuff here. Okay. Oh, I got you. I'm just saying, girl. You could ask the question, and 80 other mother effers would be to have the judgment. You know what I mean? uh, I love this conversation when we need to educate us about our bodies. Yes. So I just had the MRI. I went to a specialist for embolization here in Atlanta. He got back to me after looking at my MRI and he said, Chelsea, I think that you need to go for the myomectomy again, which I don't want to do it because it's so invasive. So I'm going to find me another doctor for another opinion. And honestly, let's just talk about women's health because honestly, I really feel that doctors have just run my butt into these surgeries. And I've had a white doctor, I've had a black doctor do it. Or I feel as though they did it. They may not have been doing that, but that's what I feel like. Okay. And perception is key. So I want to find me an Indian doctor. I've actually been Googling Indian gynecologist or Indian doctor, fibroids, Atlanta, because in my healthcare going years, I've really been watching like where people are going to school who have, hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. Sorry. All right. So that I've been seeing that I feel like doctors that go to school in different places perform differently. I'll say that. Okay. And it's been my experience with Indian doctors that they seem more enthralled in their studies of their profession. Um, I'm not gonna say everyone. I'm not gonna say more so than this, that, the other. I'm just saying in my experience. So I want to try an Indian doctor, and I was delivered here. My birth was by an Indian doctor. And so I really want to try Indian doctor. I just want to add that little piece in there because y'all got to get out of just looking up a doctor on your insurance website. You got to start watching who these folks are. You got to look at these reviews. You got to see you got to go see them a couple times before you start making big choices and stuff like that. And you got to really think in your gut, in your mind, in your heart, does this person align with with what you feel like you need from your physician, you know? And start looking for patterns and stuff and institutions and like where they went to school at for like I really believe in this institution. I like the products that they're putting out. I've heard good things about this and this institution and their students, so let's do it. Okay. Let's go up here. Okay. Insurance covers this procedure. Yes. Insurance does cover a myomectomy and a hysterectomy and the embolizations too. Or mine does. I've never heard anyone who's ever said they've had any of these procedures not be covered by insurance. Do you prefer a male or female gynecologist? Okay, so the only time I've ever had a male doctor in my vagina was as a kid. Because I was plagued with yeast infection as a kid. So I don't know. He was just my regular pediatrician. So I don't know about a male gynecologist. But in this Indian pursuit, I am open to male Indian gynecologists. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And see, another thing that I wanted to say, and I hope that folks don't get upset, but me and my mom were talking about it. Like, a lot of times, black folks be trying to get to the money. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have it. We don't have the generational wealth. And getting to them $30,000 procedures, because I know my myomectomy in 2015 was $30,000. Okay, it wasn't my 30,000; it was the insurance 30,000. Okay, um, like, okay, well, I could do a myomectomy for $30,000, but I can do this embolization for $8,000. Well, her stuff is, let me rectify it in my mind. Well, she does have a gang of fibroids, and they're like huge. So she could do a myomectomy. She probably would want an embolization, but let me go on and get this 30,000. I'm not saying all black doctors do that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just saying it's things that I think about. That's exactly what I'm saying. I have a male doctor, but he has female nurse do all the procedures. See, I don't like that. If I came to your butt, that's who I want to see. They used to do that stuff all the time in Dallas too. Always me for real. That used to piss me off. And I felt like the white lady doctor who did the first myomectomy, she was supposed to be like one of the premier people with that technology. I looked her up and everything. And I felt like she was playing with her new toy and fucked my stuff up. Excuse me, screwed my stuff up. So, anyways, research, like research, not just the doctor, research, proceed to research your condition. Now, I turned 40 last year, November last year, and waited all the way until 3 days ago, till Monday of this week, to have a mammogram. And my mammogram, well, I had one at 36. But at 40, you got to start having, as a woman, a mammogram every year. So I just had a regular mammogram, which someone told me to tell him to do it for diagnostic, but it was just a regular one. And oh my gosh, it was not a bad experience like the first time. The first time I didn't know what I was going into. And they had me waiting for hours. And it was like just too many people in there. But this time I went to a different facility and I was in and out in an hour, like 56 minutes. Okay. Yes, the mammogram is some ish to go through. You totally have your breasts lifted and moved and turned to the side by a machine that comes down and presses down on them and then turns, and you got to hold your body a certain way, and it's quick as far as when they take the imaging, but that plastic coming down on your breast is a trip. Okay. Don't be afraid of it. It's not going to hurt that much. Hopefully. I don't know how sensitive your breasts are, but right. Um, oh, okay. But it is quite daunting the first time. So you should go and you should make sure you don't wear any deodorant, no lotion, nothing like that when you're going for a mammogram. Shower in the morning or shower right before you go. Do not wear any deodorant, no antiperspirant, no perfume, no oils or anything at all on your breast. And so they can get a good picture. Uh they're gonna ask you about any abnormalities in your breast. If you have any, tell them everything. If you have little stinging, little pieces, like sometimes you just might get a little, on the side of your titty. Tell them that. Show them what titty it is, what breast it is. Any discharge, you know, um, if you're lactating, any lactating issues you may have, like be honest about all of that so they can write all this stuff down and the radiologist can consider that with the things that they look at. So when they do the imaging is to look to see if they find any traces of uh tissue or cancerous tissue. There we go. Um and you go up and they give you a blouse because you have to undress from the waist up, take all your jewelry and stuff off, and then um they the top that they give you opens in the front, and the nurse will come with her gloves. Hopefully, please let her have gloves, and maneuver your breast into the machine the way she needs it at the angle she needs it. They'll make the top part of the machine come down and press down on your breast, and then I had to hold my breath while they took the imaging. I had two images, one straight on and one from the side on each breast. And mine came back abnormal. And I'm just like, what in the freak is going on with my body? Well, when I read the words, like, cause see, I'm on my chart. So when I read the words and everything, in the, in my chart or whatever, I start Googling them words, honey, baby, because see, you don't just be saying no abnormal. And what tripped me out is the doctor called, but I was at the orthodontist when the doctor called. So I missed his call. Then, you got to go through hell and high water to get a doctor back on the phone. Then, I'm looking at my chart. I'm Googling all these words and stuff like that. So basically I have a fibrous something breast. Both my breasts are. And there was a lot of asymmetry. Now let's go look this stuff up real quick. All right. Okay. So the quick and dirty is right here. I don't know if y'all can see this. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so what does it mean when mammogram shows asymmetry? There are different kinds of asymmetries, from difference in size to tissue density. Both are features we look at on your breast imaging study. On a mammogram, an asymmetry typically means there's more tissue or white stuff on the mammogram in one area than on the opposite side. Okay. So I have very dense breasts, right? And I remember them saying that the first time I went for a mammogram. Uh when I looked at that and when they said fibrocystic or something like that in the letter and some other words and then the numbers and stuff, I started Googling all that. And I called my mom and I told my mom about it. She was like, girl, we all have been through that. She was talking about how her and my aunt had to went for a regular mammogram, then had to go for a diagnostic because the breast tissue is just so dense that they want to make sure that they look at it with the right power of machine, so that they want to look through the denseness to make sure they don't see any breast cancerous breast tissue. So I'm chilling. I'm not gonna make more than what it is. I'm making the appointment in the morning. I hope they don't make me wait no whole month like they did to get this regular one. Um, yeah, I'm chilling. My mom said that happened to her more than once. It's happened to my aunt And that's just what it is. We just have dense breasts. I said, okay, I ain't tripping. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. So go get your mammograms. Ask your doctor to do the diagnostic one from the beginning. Okay. Ask your doctor when it's time to do your mammogram to put in your paperwork for a diagnostic so you ain't got to be going back and forth. Give me the highest power off rip. Don't be calling me with no, oh, well, your stuff is abnormal. We got no. Don't be nervous, Jennifer. Just go get your test. Get your test and don't be nervous. So I hope that you learned something today about fibroids and mammograms. Now let's talk about sex real quick. So, like I told y'all, like me and my man, we're not cussing. We're not having sex right now. We are trying to develop a relationship that's not centered around sex or that does not have a high value on sex to make the relationship successful. Cool, right? Right. Well, I remember when I got upset when I first was told we wouldn't have sex. Okay, no more. And I kind of got upset, and I was like, "But like that's the most like intimate time for a couple is like their bedtime. You know what I'm saying? Like when they go to bed, and then when they wake up to lay up and kiss and talk and canoodle. You know. Oh, you're welcome. Um, that time of stuff, and he was like, you could tell he was kind of like I ain't gonna say he was disappointed, but he was like I think that we should have intimacy, like in other ways, like, and that we should not just equate our relationship intimacy to when we're being sexual in nature. And I didn't know what that felt like. Um, oh, you're welcome. I didn't know what that felt like, what that was gonna feel like. I really wasn't buying it actually either at first, kind of because I guess I had never had a man come at me like that. Like it was always sex was like the form of intimacy. So I didn't know what to expect. And I hope he's not watching this because I wanted to talk to him about it this weekend. But um I really have been seeing what he's saying, like other ways to feel that connection, that intimacy, and that emotional bond with him um in the way of sensualness aside from sex. Okay. So the other day I came in, I was at my mom and them house. And he lives kind of by them. And he had just came out the woods. Y'all know he be going out there shooting and stuff in the woods. So he just came from the woods and he was showing me some of his tape that he had did with his camera, and he was editing it and all that stuff like that. And he was laying we were watching the stuff and he was laying on the couch with the computer on his lap. And then I was next to him and he just like put his hand under my shirt and just like rubbed my back. And I was just like, I liked the rubbing because I needed it because my back was hurting. But then later on, when I thought about it, I was like, oh, that was a pretty intimate time. You know what I'm saying? That was a close, sensual touch time. I clocked late. I clocked it late. I did, but I clocked it. Like I told him, a lot of stuff that's going on in a relationship is completely new for me. And so I'm delayed a little bit. Okay. I'm slightly delayed. Please bear with me. Okay. Another thing is that the whole, like, I like to tongue a nigga down to the ground. All right. Up under the ground. Okay. That has stopped. It's a lot more kissing and nosies and forehead kisses and snuzzling on the neck and stuff like that. And I like it. Now I do need my tongue down though. Okay, because I'm wild. I'm a Scorpio and I like like shit like that. Okay. I'll wait till we get back to that sexual part before I be really wanting that. But it's the little sweetness that is so it's not even different. I don't even know if I could I'm never to say is it better? I think it's better for our relationship. But it's definitely additional for the sensory of the relationship, the sensory part of the relationship. What y'all think? I'm not gonna say it's better than sex or better than uh heavy petting and stuff, but it's a welcomed addition. It's definitely a great foundation builder. It is. And even like yeah, intimacy. Yeah, okay. I will say intimacy is deeper than sex. Yes, yes, yes. I'm just what I'm saying is that I'm not what I'm trying to say is I'm not saying I don't want to have sex. I'm just saying that this is something very intriguing, interesting, and exciting. I like it. It's different, and I want some more of it. I like it. It gives y'all a chance to know each other's sensations without having sex. Exactly. Exactly. Cause I was wilding out. I ain't gonna act. I was wilding out, but I ain't even act like I wasn't. And just that, just even like sometimes just laying, like we ain't gotta be laying in the bed and I'm laying on him. Like sometimes I just lay in his lap and watch TV. Like I don't be laying in no nigga's lap and watch TV. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, or just I don't know. I'm really enjoying I'm enjoying the intimacy without sex. But it does get hard because I did call him the other day. I was like, I'm so frisky feeling. He was like, that's all right, baby. You're doing so good. You prefer intimacy over sex. Right. But the thing about it is, okay, 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 okay. So I know y'all sitting here like, nigga, this is not what you've been saying all this time. 'Cause my mom keeps saying that. And I said, I don't think I'm representing my feelings right. So I probably need to stop talking about it so much. But I will say this. Yes, I prefer intimacy over sex. But you know that when I say sex, I mean penetration, right? So of course, I prefer all the intimacy over sex. But I do like naked intimacy. There we go. Here we go. I do like pre-intercourse naked intimacy, okay? And I'm looking forward to going back to that at some point. Okay. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? I think it's better. Sex is invasive. The intimacy without sex feels better because it has more feeling, emotion to it. I don't know if yeah, I get you. I totally get what you're saying. The higher the emotional connection, the better the sex. That's what he's saying too. And I feel so too. I feel that I do feel that. I just want to know if y'all understand where I'm coming from. Naked intimacy. I do miss it. Okay. Okay. Shit. That skin to skin, that mouth to titty. That's what I really miss. Mouth to titty. Okay. Yeah. So, but I do like this other thing, and it does make me feel good more so when I'm not around him. It makes me really feel like what we have is strong and tight. You know what I'm saying? So, after you have sex and you go home, you be thinking about, you might be like, oh, this was too early, or was he doing it all crazy? Like he didn't care nothing about me. Da, da, da. Nah, I know when we sit on the couch and you rub my back, you know what I'm saying? Or when I tell you okay, so wait, then it was the other time I told him my back was hurting, and he played the drums, so he started beating out a beat on my back, but it felt so good. I was like, ooh, do another one, play another beat, baby, hit the beat. Hit that funky track. Why? Hit that funky track. Both of us is toe down in the back area. Yeah, it definitely is a mental connection, and I'm so grateful that he slowed it down like that. I think it's refreshing that he wants to make a deeper connection. Me too. I think it just feels weird because it's unusual. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Usually all men want to do is pooch. You're right. Yes. So big ups to the geek and the nerd. I'm excited about that. Well, y'all, look, I have wrapped up a freaking video within an hour. Oh my gosh, I have come on like I promised on tonight. Somebody give me a hand clap. Are you watching The Real Housewives of the OC? It started tonight. I would appreciate if you would go look at it in between tonight and this weekend because I will be talking about it. Okay. Other than that, you guys, if there are not any more questions, I would love for you to subscribe, like, and share. And come back. Look, turn your notification bell on so you can come back and catch me whenever I come back on. How about that? 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 Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. And I will see you back here next time. Let's see. I hate I was late. Hope you keep this live. Oh, I will. All right, y'all. Take care. Good night.